Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Kindness Advantage. I am your host, Cindy Rowe. And in 10 minutes or less, we are going to explore ways to bring kindness into every corner of your life. Today's episode is all about something that sounds simple, but is actually incredibly powerful. And this ends our recap, I guess, of the month for Mental Health Awareness Month. And this is about the mental health benefits of everyday kindness, not the cheesy bumper sticker version or that fake positivity because nobody has time for that, and not even pretending that everything is fine. I'm talking about real everyday kindness and what research actually says it does to our brains, our stress levels, happiness, and emotional well being. It's good for your mental health. And, well, I think we can all use a little more of that right now. Don't you agree? Yeah. So, I want to share a story with you. A few weeks ago, I was having one of those days. Actually, I was having a week, and it was once again very heavy and not something that I felt comfortable with at all. Uh, Everything seemed to be bigger than it really needed to be. And I was struggling, too many things got into my head. And I'm sure you've been there. I think my brain was moving in like 17 different directions. Life was just hard that week. And I decided, to go fill up on some caffeine because caffeine and denial are, part of my wellness routine. But at the store, and I went to check out with my, you know, power in a can, I guess. And the employee looked simply exhausted. Like I felt like we both felt drained and exhausted. And before I left, I just said, I really hope you have a wonderful day and someone is kind to you. That was it. That's all I said. And, her face changed. And, here's the thing, like, you can literally see things happen when you say something kind. The interaction lasted like, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds, but the moments like that matter more than we realize. Kindness affects both the person receiving and the person giving it. In fact, research shows and proves that the giver of kindness has more benefit from it than the receiver, which is incredible. But we often think that kindness is only emotional, but science says it's biological too. Research shows that acts of kindness can increase our serotonin, our dopamine, and oxytocin, which are those wonderful chemicals connected to happiness, connection, calmness, and our emotional well being. Kindness literally changes what's happening inside your body and brain. And one study from the Cleveland Clinic found that kindness can reduce stress and improve emotional resilience. Another study by the American Psychological Association found that helping others can improve mood and increase life satisfaction. Hello! Did you hear that? If you've ever felt better after helping someone, it's not in your head. That's neuroscience. And also, a fun fact, there's actually something called a helper's high. Maybe you've heard of that. It sounds fake, but it's real. Researchers have found that doing kind things activates the reward centers of the brain, which means your brain responds to kindness similarly to how it responds to other positive experiences. And that translates into what? Your brain loves kindness. It's a good thing. That's good news because kindness is significantly cheaper than therapy. and online impulsive shopping, I mean, both are necessary, but kindness actually does something fantastic for us. I also want to talk about, something very important, and that's loneliness. And it's something that I felt a lot lately. And if you know my story, you probably understand why. But, despite being more digitally connected than ever, we are still struggling emotionally. And I thought it was important for me to share that in this last episode for Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, you know, we all have moments where we struggle with loneliness. And we just have to remember that even though we're connected with people online, we can connect with them in person as well. And if you're feeling lonely, you can reach out. You don't have to wait for that invitation. In fact, the former US Surgeon General called loneliness an epidemic. Loneliness impacts our mental health in major ways. And I want to highlight these, right? It increases our anxiety and our depression and our stress and lowers our emotional well-being. But here's what's also interesting is that kindness creates connection. So when you're feeling lonely, think about doing something kind, even in those small moments, a compliment, a thank you, checking in, remembering someone's name, holding space for somebody. Those tiny moments remind people that they matter, that they're seen, and that they're not alone. And that goes for you when you're lonely, because guaranteed people that you know are lonely too. And honestly, we don't know what other people are carrying. Your kindness might be the thing that interrupts a really hard day. It's a wake-up call. And honestly, at work too, it matters. People are emotionally exhausted. Burnout is at an all-time high. Stress is high. Disconnection is high. Kindness at work is not a weakness. Research consistently shows that psychologically safe and supportive workplaces have stronger collaboration, higher engagement, better retention, and lower stress levels. I share that in my keynotes. And I think people are really surprised when they find that there's research behind that. People do better in environments where they feel respected, valued, and supported. Crazy. Imagine that, right? And no, kindness does not mean avoiding accountability. It means communicating with humanity. Yep. It's not sugarcoating. It's not glossing over. It's not pampering, coddling. It's actually having those conversations that matter. You can be kind and effective, supportive and direct, compassionate and strong. Hear me out, leaders. I'm calling at you. Kindness is not weak. And in fact, one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but people will never forget the way you made them feel. Isn't that true? I mean, think about it. Most of us can still remember the teacher who believed in us, the stranger who helped us, the friend that kept checking in, the leader that made us feel valued, because kindness stays with us. It sticks. So I want to make it practical and easy for you to remember and walk away with. So 5 tiny kindness habits that can boost emotional well-being for you and others. Number 1, send the text. You know the one, it says, I'm thinking of you, I'm proud of you, I hope you're doing okay. That small message carries a big impact. Number 2, compliment specifically and genuinely. not just saying, oh, you're great. Say, you make people feel comfortable. You handled that situation really well. Specific kindness feels more genuine. Number 3, put your phone down when people are talking. Attention is one of the rarest forms of kindness right now. Be fully present because it matters. Number 4, practice kinder self-talk. Yep. Some of the things that we say to ourselves, we would never say to another person. Your inner voice matters too. So the words that you say, but say them to yourself, not out loud, stop it. If you wouldn't say it to your child, your best friend, don't say it to yourself. And number 5, I want you to normalize encouragement. Cheer people on loudly. Life is so hard enough that we could be other people's cheerleaders, and it really does make you feel better when you're cheering people on. And I want people to walk away from this episode remembering this. Kindness is not small. Those small actions create emotional ripple effects we may never fully see. And that's the beauty of kindness. Your smile matters. Your patience matters. Your encouragement matters. Your compassion matters. And in a world where so many people are overwhelmed and anxious, disconnected, and probably struggling silently, kindness becomes more than politeness. Actually, kindness is not politeness. That's niceness. Kindness becomes more than just what you think you should be doing. It's actually an emotional support. I give you a challenge every week, and this is no different. I want you to choose one of those intentional acts of kindness. I mean, maybe even do it for a whole week, for 7 days, nothing huge. Just be intentional with an act of kindness every day. But here's the caveat. I want you to pay attention to how you feel doing it. Kindness doesn't change just other people. It changes us. So if this episode encouraged you, share it with somebody who could use a little extra hope right now. And, if you loved what I've put out here, especially in the season number 4, I think I've stepped it up a little bit and tried to change things up and adding more guests. Please subscribe. Leave me a comment. Rate my podcast because it truly does help. And it's really one of the most kind things that you can do for me. I want you to remember, just be kind, just like my shirt says. You never know how much someone might need it, including yourself. So remember, together, we create waves of change through kindness. Thanks for tuning in.